It begins again, another season of Badger football. It is soon going to be upon us. This Saturday, as a matter of fact, at Lambeau Field, a 2:30 kick between the Wisconsin Badgers and the LSU Tigers. And here we go, another season of Badger football. And welcome to our first installment this year of the Badger Sports Report. And of course, we welcome the head coach, Paul Chryst. I thought toward the end of training camp, you had an interesting comment. I think many people would consider it interesting in your media gathering, when someone was asking about was something a disappointment to you, and the disappointment to you is that training camp was over. You love training camp. What is it about this time of the season that you really enjoy as a coach?
I do love training camp, and as a coach, you get to do just that. You're coaching, and it's nonstop. It's the one time of the year where the kids don't have the distractions. You know, all of our class work was done. You know, it's just football, and you never have a bad practice in the sense that even if something goes wrong, you've got time to come back, you learn from it, and see if you can get better. So it's a fun time of the year. We get to focus on football, and you do see kids growing during that process, and you're also kind of finding out what your identity is going to be as a team. So that's why I enjoy it.
As you try to get that identity, there's obviously a lot of position battles. I'll ask you about the quarterback here before we're done, but let's get with the offensive line here, because that's been really kind of the news of the week as your training camp portion here is wrapped up with Dan Volt's going to be transitioning into another role. Some other guys have been in and out. Are you feeling like, though, as you start to get into a game week mode, that you can settle reasonably well on who your main guys are going to be along your offensive line?
I think we can settle in on that, and there was some health issues, not just Dan's, that obviously is, he's made a decision that won't play anymore, but as far as, John Dietzen was out for a little bit, and Ryan Ramczyk was hurt near the end, and so I think that as we get them all back and healthy, and Jacob Maxwell had missed some time, we get them in the fold, I think that we will settle in and settle down on who it will be. And, certainly with Dan, what a lot of respect and admiration I have for him. Really all the coaches do here, and I know the players do. And it was a hard decision for him, but yet I think really a good decision for him. And he did it, and what I respect and appreciate, he doesn't have to wonder, what if I'd have done this? Like he tried and did everything he could, and heck, even with a shortened, missing your senior year, I think he's at 26, 27 career starts. That's a heck of a career.
You're so focused on the now with this team, but I want to ask you the same question I asked Joe Rudolph. Considering all of the shuffling that you guys had to do last year along the offensive line, all the youth, did you give yourself a chance after the season was over and say, you know what, this was pretty good, what these guys were able to accomplish, helping win 10 games, because the deck was kind of stacked against you. A lot of bad luck with injuries and all of that, but you guys persevered a year ago.
Yeah, I think that was one of the calling cards of that team last year, was perseverance. And I think that hopefully the guys that did have to grow up on the job, Michael Dieter, now he'll start seeing it pay off for him. He watched the film in the off season of himself doing it, and knowing now what he knows compared to then, I think that'll help. And Bo Benchwell got a ton of experience, and Jacob Maxwell did. Micah Capoy got a lot of experience. So I think that there's nothing like that game experiences that hopefully will help them, and certainly do appreciate what they did and how they went about it last year, and that's important and helpful if we can use that information going forward and continue to grow.
All right, we will take a break. We're nearly 4 minutes in, and we haven't talked about quarterbacks yet, but we will. And there's a lot of young talent on this team, freshman talent, maybe names you're not familiar with, but you probably will become familiar. We'll give you an idea of some of those young receivers, defensive backs, etc., as we continue with the Badgers head coach as the Badger Sports Report continues.
A defensive clinic brought to you by Jack Sitchy. To the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Goodbye. Touchdown, Corey Clement. Pressure coming from Beagle. Oh, he was shot out of a cannon. Win number 10 for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report is brought to you by the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. by Hy-Vee. Where there's a helpful smile in every aisle, Hy-Vee proudly supports the Wisconsin Badgers. By UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
There are 5,757,564 residents of the state of Wisconsin. At Pick and Save, we're proud to be here for every one of them. Keeping the quality up and the prices down. Because 14,023 of those Wisconsinites are us. Pick and Save, where Wisconsin saves on groceries.
Good or better? The Hyundai Tucson versus the Ford Escape. Estimated fueling costs, the Ford's higher.
Whoa.
Estimated routine repairs, the Ford's higher.
What's happening?
In fact,
Guys?
Hyundai has the lowest 5-year cost to own of all brands for 2016. So again, Ford's higher.
Guys?
That's really high.
Very funny! Ha ha!
Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. The 2016 Tucson from Hyundai.
This is Lexi Rush. She's 10, and she's amazing. You see, Lexi was born deaf and couldn't hear anything. That was until her doctor in Appleton referred her to the pediatric specialists at UW Health in Madison. Now, 2 operations later, Lexi can hear everything. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health. Remarkable.
It's no secret, Quick Trip has the fresh food you need every day. From chips and buns to ripe produce and...
Hey, buddy. You cooking out?
Yeah, I am.
Well, then you're gonna need brats, hamburger, hot dogs.
You bet. Premium fresh meat now at Quick Trip. Right now, Johnsonville brats, 2 packages for $7. Premium meats at your neighborhood Quick Trip.
You saved me a trip.
Hey, wait for me.
Badgers and LSU. I know fans have been excited about this game for a long time up at Lambeau Field. 2:30 kickoff up in Green Bay. We'll touch on the Tigers here a little bit, but okay, let's get to the quarterback. You have Bart Houston, a veteran. He's been in the program, hasn't played a lot, but a veteran. Alex Hornibrook, a very nice-looking redshirt freshman. What have you liked about both of them from spring until now, how each has gotten better?
I think just that they've gotten better, and it didn't just happen. And I thought they did a great job, particularly in fall camp, of just focusing on themselves and the things that they could control. And I really do both grew. And I feel good about both of them as quarterbacks and what they bring to the table. I think they're also getting more comfortable in knowing the offense. And you know, Bart was around it last year, just like Alex was, in different capacity, different role. But I think they've got a much greater command of it. And I thought early in spring particularly, and even first parts of camp, while you had receivers and tight ends and backs trying to figure out how they fit into each pattern, that can be hard on a quarterback, not knowing exactly how someone's going to come out of a route. And I think as camp progressed and that was a little bit more consistent, I thought the quarterbacks then were able to take it up another notch and be able to anticipate and go. And I've appreciated the work that they've put in. I think that our team knows what they've done. Both are good teammates in the locker room. They know that the team's important to them. And I've just liked seeing their growth. And I think they truly have taken strides. I think they're, certainly there's things that we've got to get better at, and we haven't arrived, but you're always looking for ways you can improve. But I have liked the way that they have taken command of the offense, knowing who they are and how that fits with it.
Some of the receivers have been around for a while. If it's Rob Wheelwright, Jazz Peavy, that group. But when Alex Erickson left for Cincinnati, that's 70-plus receptions that walked out of the building. But there is some freshman talent here, and I don't want to go overboard here as a broadcaster, but you can't help but watch those guys even with layman's eyes and say, ooh, you might have some guys here who can help you. I don't know when, but they've been pretty impressive, haven't they?
I think you're right, and you do want to caution yourself about getting too ahead of it, too excited. Really, I remember when Nick Toon and Isaac Anderson and David Gilreath came in, and we were excited about that group. And these three young receivers, I think they've got great ball skills. They've got really good speed and competitiveness and toughness, even as freshmen. And I've been impressed as well as how they've learned it. And I think that they've got a chance. You don't know exactly when, but I think they'll have a chance to help us this year.
Defensive side. A lot has been written and said about the front seven and how good it might be able to become here this year. Let's start with the back end first, though. What have you seen? I know you have a couple of freshman DBs, a couple safeties, a corner who could be pretty good, but collectively, from Coach Jim Leonard's group, what have you seen that's given you some reason to think, hey, this group could be pretty solid as well?
I think they've done a great job of, the players and Jimmy coming together, and I think they've got a good room that way. It's been great to have Dakota Dixon back. Dakota, I don't know if that was our 4th, 5th practice in spring and got hurt and really went through summer recovering from it. And so I think with, Dakota Dixon, Leo Musso has great command on the defense, knows what we're doing, feel good there. And we've got some young safeties. Arrington Farrar, who played really at 120-some snaps last year on special teams, not a lot at the safety position, but played and did well in special teams. Then we've got 2 freshmen, Eric Burrell and Patrick Johnson. So we think that's the depth at the safety spot. And we're excited about the young kids and also feel good about Moose being the one senior, and Dakota Dixon did a tremendous job for us last year on special teams. And then at the corner spot, Sojourn Shelton's done a great job, I think, and keeps elevating and went through, had a really good camp and has been the leader with the cornerbacks, and Derek Tyndall and Natrell Jamerson played a lot of football. The roles are going to be a little bit different than they were last year, but they played a lot. So I'm excited for that group. There's going to be some growing. Natrell was our special teams player of the year, but played some nickel situations. But last year we graduated 3 really good football players, and so it's an opportunity for this group to step up. But I think they feel confident in where they're at. We know we're going to be challenged early and throughout the year, but with those challenges, I think they'll continue to grow.
Okay, about a minute and change left here. LSU, the first opponent. I think first games are always kind of mysteries, but they do return a lot on both sides of the ball. It seems like a lot of returning starters, but is there still that pretty large element of unknown, even with that said, going into a season opener like this?
That's an interesting one with this team because there are a lot of returning players and maybe arguably one of the best players in college football in Leonard Fournette. Mm-hmm. So there won't be mystery there. I would think that they're going to hand him the ball quite often. You don't know how has the quarterback progressed. Defensively, you know who the players are. How will they use them, in a new scheme. So I think there are some of those unknowns, and the best thing for us to do is prepare with what you do know or think you may see, and then we're going to have to adjust during the game. But the big point that we talk to our players all the time is we still got to control the things that we can control, the controllables, and those are our approach, what we're doing, and certainly defensively we've got to react to what LSU is going to do offensively, and offensively react to the who's coming in the pressure, or what coverage they're playing. But it really falls back onto us executing our schemes.
All right, it'll be a lot of fun as the Badger season gets underway on Saturday at Lambeau Field, Wisconsin, and the LSU Tigers kick off this Saturday at 2:30 Central Time. Coach Chryst returns in a few minutes with this week's Great Dane Great Question of the Week, that and more, as the Badger Sports Report continues.
With this level of intelligence, it's a supercomputer. With this grade of protection, it's a fortress. And with this standard of luxury, it's an oasis. Introducing the completely redesigned E-Class 4MATIC. It's everything you need it to be, and more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
One of the highlights of the off-season is the annual Football 101 Clinic for Women. This night of on-field drills and tours of Camp Randall Stadium raises money to benefit the Susan G. Komen Foundation of South Central Wisconsin.
It's actually Robin Chryst and Dawn Rudolph that were the originators of this. The Rudolphs came from Nebraska, and it was a program they were doing, the Susan G. Komen in Nebraska. Same colors here at Wisconsin, so it was just a nice little transferable program that we could do. The input that we get and the volunteer help that we get from the wives of the coaches and from Lisa Powell, who is the assistant to the head coach, she is phenomenal. She's also a breast cancer survivor, so we know it's a personal journey for her too, and to be a part of this. They do a phenomenal job in pulling this all together for us. It's almost like the older the woman is, the more gentle these boys are with them and the more time and care they take with them. It's the coolest thing to see. It is volunteerism for them, but I can see that they get just as much out of it interacting with these ladies as the ladies do with them. There's two really daunting statistics. One is that 1 in 8 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer, and the second one is a woman is diagnosed every 2 minutes in the United States. 75% of what we raise here as a Komen affiliate has to stay here and fund real-time help. And that help is not just treatment money, but we pay for rent, utilities, food, groceries, and transportation. What we call barriers to treatment. We found out women were stopping treatment because they didn't have a car, because if they miss an hourly wage job, that's going to negate a rent payment or groceries. And we said, that's not humane. That's not what we do. So our grant at the Well Woman program has been expanded to that 25% that we send to Komen headquarters goes directly into research. And I have to tell you, we're so proud that there is a Komen-funded researcher at the UW right now. Dr. Lisa Arndt is her name. But there's still a lot to this disease that we don't know. We still don't have the causes and we still don't have the cures, but we're working on it. And events like this help.
Think About It is brought to you by UW Health, a cornerstone partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
Ooh, it wouldn't be track. Definitely not track. Maybe swimming, maybe basketball. And if it was track, probably like the 100. I got a good little start, so I'll make it competitive for the first little 40 meters.
Probably the air rifle competition. That was sweet. I definitely would have done that.
Pretty close. I'm going to do the archery. That's what I'm about right there.
That's why I didn't take it.
I would want to try the handball. I've watched it once, and that seems really fun. I don't know why, it just really does.
I actually watched the air rifle. That seems pretty cool. I would want to try that. I think it was like a girl from West Virginia University. She won it. I thought it was pretty cool.
I think I would do track, like long jump, or of course basketball. I'm like the best basketball player on our team, arguably.
No question, it'd be the 110 high hurdles. I ran hurdles in high school. I love watching track. I love watching the heptathletes. I love watching pole vaulters, the men's sprinters. But back home, I was a hurdler.
I would like to say it would be soccer, but I know I'm not good enough to be at that. But I would love to just play soccer, at the home turf. It's more than a sport in Brazil. It's your whole culture. It's what moves the city, Don't get me wrong, football, I love football, and, it has done so much for me and just giving me the chance to be out here, get to live this dream too. But, my first dream was to play soccer, playing the highest level. And there's no better feeling than, putting that Brazil jersey and playing in front of the crazy fans that we have. That would have been amazing.
It's Nissan's Bottom Line Summer Event. Take on the unexpected and take home a winner. Get to Nissan for big model year-end offers on our award-winning lineup. Hurry, these offers end soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or get a low $189 per month lease on road. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers.
Go Badgers!
There are 5,757,564 residents of the state of Wisconsin. At Pick and Save, we're proud to be here for every one of them. Keeping the quality up and the prices down. Because 14,023 of those Wisconsinites are us. Pick and Save, where Wisconsin saves on groceries.
This is what collaboration looks like. This is what happens when a cardiologist in Appleton works step in step with specialists at UW Health in Madison. You see, when Terry's condition required a second opinion, his doctor turned to the cardiothoracic team at UW Health. Together, we made sure Terry got the care and the heart transplant he needed. Powerful minds, compassionate care, amazing results. UW Health, remarkable.
Introducing. It's what Mercedes-Benz has been doing since 1886. Introducing the world to the first automobile. Introducing over 100,000 patented breakthroughs. Introducing innovations in performance, safety, and pure driving pleasure. This year, we're introducing the youngest, most dynamic lineup in the world. All from the car company that needs no introduction. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
This Senior Salute is brought to you by Hyundai.
Can you think of a more remarkable way to kick off your senior season than at Lambeau Field?
Absolutely not. Growing up 15 minutes away from Madison, Packers, Lambeau Field, everything. I went to the return of the title town when they won the Super Bowl, and it's crazy that we get to play there, especially, for my senior year, being a Wisconsin kid. It's a very humbling experience, and I'm very excited. Growing up 15 minutes away, I take a lot of pride in the University of Wisconsin and the Wisconsin Badgers, and I look at this is my hometown, my home school. It's an experience that's been great to me. Obviously, 15 minutes away, my mom's still doing my laundry, and it's awesome.
Snap to Billy Ball, the quarterback, and he'll loft it up to the right side. Wants Hudson again, and it's picked off again. And it's Leo Musso, his second interception of the game.
I could probably tell you bits and pieces from every single game. Obviously, the Rose Bowl, the whole Rose Bowl experience was really cool. But there's been quite a few. Obviously, at Ohio State. There's so many places that we get to play. At Ohio State, we got to play at Dallas. So many NFL stadiums, LSU 2 years ago. It's hard to kind of specify it to one specific moment. It's kind of a culmination of everything. Obviously, when I get down the road, probably a little bit more, I'll be able to tell stories and give bits and pieces from each.
What would make a successful senior season for you?
Having a winning team. Us winning the Big Ten championship, us winning every game. Really, I'm not one of those guys that's big about being individual. The individual awards or the individual recognition. As long as the team's winning, I'm happy.
Good or better? The Hyundai Sonata versus the Toyota Camry. The Sonata has an available panoramic sunroof. The Camry, no. In the Sonata, available Android Auto. The Camry, no again. And only the Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty. Better is the reason to buy Hyundai. The 2017 Sonata from Hyundai.
Whether you're out there training for a big event or you're just trying to stay in shape, I have a bit of advice. It's important to remember that what happens after the workout is just as important as what happens during the workout. My advice, be sure to refuel with low-fat chocolate milk. It has the perfect mixture of protein, carbs, and electrolytes to help you refuel, rehydrate, and build muscle. In Wisconsin, athletes win with low-fat chocolate milk. And you can too. To learn more, visit winwithchocolatemilk.com.
It's Nissan's bottom line summer event. Take on the unexpected and take home a winner. Get to Nissan for big model year-end offers on our award-winning lineup. Hurry, these offers end soon. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 models or get a low $189 per month lease on road. Get to Nissan, proud partner of the Wisconsin Badgers.
Go Badgers!
The Badger Sports Report is presented by Pick and Save, where Wisconsin saves on Badger game days. By the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. Presented by Zimbrick European. Test drive the all-new E-Class at Zimbrick European today. By UW Health. UW Health Sports Medicine, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org.
Time for our first installment this season of the Great Dane Great Question of the Week, and it comes from Ted up in Toma. Wants to know, Coach, how many games have you been able to see as a fan up at Lambeau Field?
Well, Ted, I've had a chance to see 3 games. The first game was when Paul Gruber, who I played with here, he was a rookie with the Buccaneers, and we had a bye that week, so went up there with a couple of teammates, and then saw the championship game against the Giants, the real cold one, and then last year saw the last game of the year against the Vikings. So I had the opportunity to see 3 games in Lambeau. When I was a kid, went up and watched practices with my dad, but really hadn't been to a game until I was in college.
All right, be a lot of fun for people who have either been there many times or going there for the first time, and enjoy the atmosphere, enjoy the college atmosphere up in Lambeau Field for the Badgers and LSU. Ted, thanks a lot for your question. The Great Dane with 4 locations in Madison, downtown on Doty Street, Fitchburg at Cahill, Maine, the East Side location off Jupiter Drive, and the Hilldale spot off of Midvale Boulevard. And yes, it is still there, going strong. The Great Dane up in Wausau. The season begins on Saturday up at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. The Wisconsin Badgers and the LSU Tigers. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
It's no secret, Quick Trip has the fresh food you need every day. From chips and buns to ripe produce and...
Hey, buddy. You cooking out?
Yeah, I am.
Well, then you're gonna need brats, hamburger, hot dogs.
You bet. Premium fresh meat now at Quick Trip.
Right now, Johnsonville brats, 2 packages for $7. Premium meats at your neighborhood Quick Trip.
You saved me a trip.
Hey, wait for me.
Whether you're out there training for a big event or you're just trying to stay in shape, I have a bit of advice. It's important to remember that what happens after the workout is just as important as what happens during the workout. My advice? Be sure to refuel with low-fat chocolate milk. It has the perfect mixture of protein, carbs, and electrolytes to help you refuel, rehydrate, and build muscle. In Wisconsin, athletes win with low-fat chocolate milk. And you can too. To learn more, visit winwithchocolatemilk.com.